Do you ever get disappointed in your builds because they look like this in The Sims? Are your Sims homeless because they would rather live on the streets than in the house you built? Because honestly, same.
So that's why today, as an expert of literally nothing, I'm going to be showing you how to build a simple base game house. This is also on the gallery, so you can kind of download this, and basically this tutorial is kind of useless. But okay, let's start.
Okay, so to start off, I basically, when I open a new lot, I like to start off with a box. So, as any newbie to The Sims, aka me, I like to make it a decent size. I also choose like bigger lots. It's just more of a personal preference, but I like to go for a larger lot than a starter lot, I guess. And you really want to typically fill up 60 to 75% of the lot. Please do not fill in a whole 50 by 50 lot. That was definitely one of the mistakes I've made when I first started the game. Just start off with a decent size and then just go from there. You don't always want to have big houses because big houses cost more time and energy. So yeah, so basically you guys can see here I start off with a box on a decent sized lot, and then I added more box to it. I tried to give it a lot of texture and shape by adding some more bump outs, little dormers. You just want to add height and depth to your house, your base game house, to be able to give it some personality, I guess you'd call it. Also, with roofing, as you guys can see, I start off. Roofing doesn't always have to fit the house. Like here, I use an octagonal shaped roof and it doesn't completely fit. You know what? Nobody knows about it. It doesn't bother me. I'm totally fine with it. So roofing doesn't always have to fit super well, but if it does bother you, it's totally up to you. But this is just totally my opinion and my take on how to make a house. Anyways, so I do add little roofs to the little bump outs as well. As you guys can see, it just gives it more shape, as I said earlier, and also it just makes it look symmetrical. In this house, I typically went for more of a symmetrical look. I find those more easier to start off with, and that's what I would recommend starting off with in The Sims, rather than like houses that are just free for all. But yeah, anyways, I then move on to the color scheme. The color scheme is really, it sets the tone of what you are trying to build and show to, I guess, everyone who downloads it. So for this one, I went for a very light gray theme, as you guys can see here. Obviously, this took more than one attempt to figure out what I wanted this house to feel like and look like. This can definitely just be a personal preference, but for me, I also tried to base it on what family I had living here, and I just tried to like kind of put myself in their shoes and try to see what house they would want to live in. So then I also move on to the windows. Right now, you guys can see here, I do put the normal base game windows. I go with just the plain white theme. Obviously, you guys can get more adventurous when it comes to windows. I find the windows are really what catches my eyes when I look at a house, just mainly because they're like everywhere. For windows, you really want to have it be consistent first off, and make sure they all match, because that would be kind of weird if you had a green window and an orange window. Here you guys can see me start off with a garage. Garages are totally unnecessary in The Sims, but once again, I'm going for more of a realistic approach. Therefore, you probably would want to have a garage for realistic houses. For garages are a bit, it's another story basically, but what I did here was made a base game door large, and then I just put it in a basement, closed it off. It's a very simple hack. I could definitely do another video on that if I need to, or if you guys want to. But the garage just adds a bit more realism to the house, where I will later on put a debug car in there on the driveway, just to make it feel more lived in, I guess. And then I go back after this, you guys can see here, to basically color the roof, add some more windows where needed. You don't always have to put windows straight away, like right away. I sometimes do go inside and build and then realize I want a window here, and I try to make it work from the outside. It's a very trial and error process, so definitely don't attack yourself if you just make a house and you expect it to be perfect on the first try. For the roofing color, once again, it has to, you choose a color that basically complements the house, so you have it kind of matching, I guess. For this house, I went with a very gray monotone color scheme, and then I basically start landscaping with the debug. Now, as you guys probably have heard many times before, debug landscaping is probably your best friend when it comes to building houses. It makes everything looks great. It's your make or break, basically. So landscaping for the exterior is very important, mainly because it just shows the character of not only the house but your Sims or whoever lives in this house. So I like to build into the world. Once again, you want to look at the landscaping around your world that you're building in, and then you want to just try to use those plants that you can find in the debug to try to make sure it looks kind of like it doesn't stand out, basically, because that's the whole point of trying to make it look good. You want to build it into the world. So I did add some trees, some purple flowers, and some purple lilacs as well. I just think that if your house does look a bit like, if it lacks some color, you definitely want to bring that and balance that out with the landscaping, just so it doesn't look too black and white, because the character in the house is like really a nice thing to add. So that's definitely something you should remember to add, and pick a color scheme that you want to have in your landscaping and just stick with it. As much as I like the rainbow, I don't think you should have a rainbow variety color of plants, but that totally depends, once again, on the house you're trying to build. This is a very generic house, in my opinion. It's only the base game. I don't do the interior, by the way, I forgot to mention that, but it's very basic, and it's totally simple and easy to make in the game if you don't have all the packs, because that's definitely something I struggled with at the beginning. I came into the Sims, like the basic vanilla base game, thinking that I'd have all the packs for some reason and they come for free. I was so naive back then. Anyways, yeah, so here you guys can see me fence off the whole build. Now you want to decide, when it comes to boxing off your build, just establishing a perimeter to the build, you really want to figure out what you want to go with. For me, I did a mixture of both hedges and like a half wall. I know many people tend to like box in with like fences and stuff, which is nice, obviously, but in my opinion, the Sims 4 base game doesn't have like the best fences, so I tend to go for base game half walls, and I also stick some hedges into it to make it a variety. It might look weird for some of you guys, might not. I just think it just really expresses the character of this house once again. Here I do add some wall details or window details, whatever you want to call it, just to give the house, just to pop it up a bit. And then I switched the windows to green, as you guys can see here, because I decided that it was too black and, well, not black, but gray and white for me, so I really wanted to try to pop up some color a bit. And then I also do put these like little, I don't know what you'd call it, but they're like debug items from the debug menu, obviously, and these just kind of tie in my whole build. It just outlines all my landscaping. It just keeps it neat and tidy. This is definitely optional. It took me way less time than I thought. The reason I did this is it was just a me thing, you know. I felt really professional by adding these little like pebbles or rocks, because all the great builders do it. If you see like K Emerald or the Sim Stream, you see them like one by one place like little items to make things look really good. Yeah, so that was just a me thing, but if you want to like kind of outline your build, you could definitely do that with little pebbles or rocks, whatever suits it. But this was just a little touch I like to add to make it stand out a bit, and it does make a big difference in my opinion. Anyways, and then for my final touch, I do add some no CC art gallery picture things. Yes, my words got a bit jumbled there, but this is just to add an address to the house to make it a bit more realistic. You do not need to download this in order to download this from the gallery. It'll just download it off the gallery for you, so you could totally download this without having to download something else. I said download like 5 times in that sentence, but that's pretty much it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do like, comment, and subscribe if you like this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next one.